So today I'm going to do a carburetor clean and removal of a 2001 Arctic Cat 300. I'm on my crutches, so I'm sorry if it's a little bit blurry. I had surgery, or if I shake a little bit. So the first thing you're going to do is have to take off the seat. There's a little lever right down here. You can see it right here. You're going to push that, and then your seat will pop off. So let me take care of that real fast. Alright, so I've undone the lever, so it releases that, then you got to pull your seat forward just a little bit. It'll pop out. Next, what you're going to have is you're going to have your air box, which is here, and you're going to have your air vent, which is here. So you got to take your air vent off to get to your carburetor, which sits right here. So I'm going to walk around my forwarder, and here you have two screws. You can go ahead and undo these. Making sure to put them somewhere where you're not going to lose them or forget where they're at. Usually I have a little bucket or a lid or something I put my stuff in. So you take those out, and then see if this pops off real fast. Let's see, it's still caught on something. Right, so what you do is you kind of just shimmy it off. There's two little things right here you can see that pushed right down onto. So you're going to want to pop that off. Also over here there's a screw that you got to undo in order to loosen this to get it out of the airbox. So once you do that, it just pops right off. And then here's your carburetor. So you're going to have a couple of different things here that looks like we're going to have to take off. We're going to have our choke and our throttle cables. We're also going to have, you're going to have a screw right here that you're going to undo. A screw right here you're going to undo so that the carburetor, where the gas goes into or the fumes go into the engine, you're going to undo this to get that off right there, and that to get it off from the airbox. And then you're going to have to undo here and here, it looks like, with a wrench. And so let me go ahead and get that going, and then I'll see if I run into any other. Alright, so I'm going to undo this one. This screw right here. Doesn't have to be undone a lot. The more it is, the easier it is to get your carburetor out. Barely moving in there for me. So there you go. Now you can see that it's loose enough that it'll slide. So that should allow it that I can get the air filter out. Now let me go ahead and do this other one right here. So you can see it loosening up as well. Alright, so now we got those undone. Now those are done right here. You can see there's a little clip right here that you're going to take and pinch that and pull it up. That's your fuel line. Make sure that your fuel's already shut off. So let me go ahead and pull that off. Okay, so I've grabbed that and I've slid it up. So now what you're going to do, what I usually do is I take a pair of pliers or something like that and twist this back and forth a couple times, kind of break it up a little bit. And then you should be able to just take and pull it up, give it a little bit of wiggling, and it should just pop right off. There we go. So mine's got a little bit of fuel left in it from when I turned the gas off. So now we got the fuel line out of the way. Now we're going to take and we're going to undo right here with a pair of with a wrench, and then we're going to turn it, and over here you've got where your throttle cable goes in at. We're going to take the screws off here so we can get this cable out. So let me grab my wrench real fast. It fits right here. Okay, so it was a little bit hard to work on, so I decided to change my mind. What I did is I took and I undid the carburetor from the air box, and I pulled this little piece out to give me a little bit of wiggle room. Now this just pops right out just like this. So that way you can pull it up to you and be able to work on this a little bit easier. So that's what I did. Looking in there already, I can already tell there's a bunch of gunk down in there. So let me get those off real fast again. Like I said, I'm going to put a wrench on here to take it off, and then put a wrench on there and take it off. Or I'm going to take a wrench, undo this piece, and then I'm going to get the throttle cable box over here taken off. Alright, so I got the choke cable undone right here. It just takes and it pops right out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip it over so that I can get the throttle cable undone. That last one was the choke cable. So you got a screw right here, it looks like. And it looks like that's about it. So I'm going to take this screw off, and then I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. here's the inside of this. If I push the throttle up here, the gas, this is what happens. It moves it. So you can see this thing's pretty easy to move. What you're gonna do is take and pull it. And you can see how this cable kind of pops out. You're gonna pull that piece right there out. What I'm gonna do is get a flathead and use my other hand and get it out of there. Now that this piece is out, it just popped right out. I'm gonna take and I'm gonna unscrew right here in order to get this piece out of there. So you can either use a wrench or maybe like a flat nose pliers or something. I'm just gonna use flat nose pliers because that's what I have sitting next to me. Okay, so my carburetor's out now that I've done that. So what I'm gonna do is, these ones are all good. So I'm gonna use my impact wrench or my impact driver to get this one out. And so what you do with that is you take and you just put this down in there, and you hit the top of this with a hammer, and as it goes down, the hammer hits it, see if I can show you, as the hammer hits it, it pushes it down, and it twists the front just a little bit. So that's what I'm going to do to get that last one off real fast. All 4 screws are out from there now, so I'm going to pull this off. We'll see what it looks like on the underside. So you can see, let's see, kind of in that corner over here, there's quite a bit of gunk in it. See if I can get you into the sunlight a little bit more maybe. So there's some gunk in there. This is pretty corroded. If you can see this part, it's nice and green, which it's not supposed to be. That could be a major problem with it. Looking down in here, you can see that there's been stuff in here for a while, so I'm going to get these out. So we got my some of my needles here. I'm going to take those out and spray them out. And then right here, you've got a pin on the side. What you're going to do is just take and get a little hammer and just kind of tap that out and get your float out, so that under here you can spray it out and make sure it's nice and clean. So let me get those out. I'm just going to take a hammer, or not a hammer, but I'm just going to take my flathead. I'm going to twist them out. If they aren't coming out, I might get my impact wrench, just give them a little tap so that I can get them broke loose. I took these 2 down. I already sprayed them out. They're sitting over here in my toolbox. I'm actually going to get a wire brush. They still got a little bit of green on them, and get that taken care of probably. And then over here you got your float already pushed out. So I took and I just gave it a little bit of pressure, and you can see that pin is poking out the other side now. So just give it a little bit more of a push, and it'll push this thing right here out, so you can pull it out. Make sure not to lose this piece. And then your float here should just pull right out. So then you got this little float right here on the bottom of this piece right here. Make sure not to lose that as well. I'm going to spray down inside of here. I'm going to get this thing all nice and clean up. I'm going to spray down in there, I'm going to spray in here, I'm going to spray all over the place. I'm going to spray down into these holes where those jets came out of, and then I'm going to stick her back together. And that's how you clean your carburetor and take it apart on your Arctic Cat 300.